Hi, I'm Kate, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Washington State. Welcome to my weekly YouTube video and blog featuring some of the most current products from Stampin' Up! The projects I share here feature current products and vary from a very simple and quick card to more complex for that time when you want something very special. I also sell the Stampin' Up! Products used in this video. I hope you enjoy my free tutorial and would love to have you shop with me. I put my link to my online store in the description below. Let's get started. I am actually featuring, this is going to go up on November 2nd, so it's one day before this set is available. It's called Quite Curvy Variety Package. It comes with 2 stamp sets, Quite Curvy, this one here, Curvy Christmas, Curvy Dies, and let's see if I can get it over here, and this, which is Christmas, Classic Christmas 6x6 DSP. So if you buy the whole package, it has a price, and then you can also buy just the Curvy Christmas by itself, or you can buy the Quite Curvy by itself, or the Curvy Dies by themselves, or this comes as a bundle. The Quite Curvy and Curvy Dies can come as a bundle as well. So link to my online store where you can see about getting these starting tomorrow, November 3rd, and they're only available through January 4th. Okay, enough of the business. This is what we're going to make today. This is the card. It's cased from samples that they gave us when they put them up for sale as demonstrators. They let us purchase early so that we can prepare samples for people to see what the sets are capable of doing. And so I have put together previous videos of various samples, and this is just another one of those samples. And let me bring in that picture. This is the sample that I am going to be casing today, and it's pretty close to the same, but there are a few little differences. As always, the catalogs are a great inspiration motivator, and you can start with their idea and copy it exactly, or you can insert different elements to change it up a bit, however you want to do. But it's a great way to get ideas of where to start. So I always have that weekly casing the catalog videos that I put up. You'll have to check those out. So this is the card, and this is the envelope I ended up making. Let's show you how I did it. I started with just this flat piece of Whisper White Thick. It is the 5.5 by 8.5. It is scored at 4 1/4, and it will make a side fold A2 standard sized greeting card. Okay, then these are the pieces that I am going to be dealing with to put onto the front of the card. This is early Espresso cardstock, and it is 2 3/4. All of these are 4 1/4 wide because they're going to go all the way across the front of the card. So this is 2 3/4 from top to bottom. The silver is silver foil. I believe in the sample they used like smoky slate for gray, but I wanted just a little more shimmer on my card, so I'm going to be using silver foil, and it's 1.5 by 4 1/4 to begin with. Then you have the Whisper White, and it is 1.5 by 4 1/4. And then this is a piece of the DSP with the stars from the Classic Christmas, and it is 1 3/4 by 4 1/4. So there are the sizes. And now there's some things we need to do with these before we start building. First of all, we're going to use the Early Espresso ink pad, and we are going to stamp the sentiment onto this white piece here. Maybe we need a little more light. Let's see if that will help. There we go. So we're going to use Early Espresso, and we're just going to try and follow the curve as best we can, and I'm keeping it up close to the top as I can. I want that And the word bright is going to be the word you're using to guide yourself because it curves. So there's that. Then that's ready. Now I am going to turn on my heat tool, so you're going to hear some noise in the background. I'm going to use the embossing buddy. Let's put this away because I'm going to use the Versamark ink, and I'll talk about the edges on these in just a minute. Now this is the embossing buddy. It's been discontinued. Any anti-static product that you have to keep the embossing powder from sticking where you don't want it is really important. And so I had a bunch of those, and that's why I kept that. Okay, here's that. And on this, I'm putting this stamp that has the stars on it, and Versamarking that. And again, I'm going to stamp it on here, and I'm going to try and follow the curve as best I can, and I'm keeping it as close to the curve as I can, but I don't want to go into the place where the holes are at. So there's that. Now when you're using this Versamark on foil, you want to be sure and stamp straight down and do not let it slip, because it could slip really easily on that foil. So you want to be careful of that so you don't get a smeared image. And we're going to make sure we get embossing powder on all of that. Very good. And that's ready to emboss. Before I start embossing, I'm also going to do this. And in the stamp set, Curvy Christmas, there are 2 little stars. And there's no... I want to do my anti-static before I start. There we go. One is slightly larger than the other, and there's not a right or wrong way to do this. It doesn't hurt to have some go off the page. Part of this is going to get covered up, but I want to... There's the large star. Now let's put some small ones in around that. And you can put as few or as many stars as you'd like. Okay, and we'll bring in the gold embossing powder again. And we'll make sure we get powder on all of the spots. Take that out of the way. Looks like it's ready. Okay, so let's emboss. Let's do this one first. There it goes, starting to melt now. I've got to change ends. Getting a little hot on my fingers there. Okay, there's that one. And now we'll do this one. And this is going to warp a little bit. It'll be okay. We'll be able to flatten it back out when we put it back down on the paper and we attach it. When I say a little bit, I guess I should say a lot. There we go. It is warped, but trust me, it's going to be okay. We'll get it together here in just a minute. I thought about that when I was doing it. Now we're going to take these pieces and we're going to start building the front of the card. So the back layer is this layer, and it's going to go on first. There's a corner of that one, not yet. One little stubborn star over here. There we go. And we will attach that first, because it's the backmost piece. So we're going to attach that even with the top of the front and even side to side, just like that. So there's that piece. The next piece is the silver piece, and these I'm going to lay out here a little bit before so I can see how it's going to work. Yeah, I might have to do just a little bit of adjusting, but that's okay. This one I am going to attach with the Stampin' Seal Plus, because it's the foil. It's got a funky kind of a backing on it that sometimes regular adhesive is not as efficient. And so I'm following along that die cut line, and I need to come back and tell you about that in just a minute. Okay, you can set this however you want it. It's just a matter of deciding about where you want it to land, and how much you cover up is really not going to matter. So I'm going to do it like that. I think that leaves enough of the brown showing. And I totally spaced showing you the die I used for the edge of these. Let's get that out. This is the die that was used to create these edges. And I chose what kind of a curve I wanted, and then I just kept track of where this was. So this is 12 of these little holes in. So then on each piece I just counted and put it so that I had the same angle on both of them. And so that's the die I used, and that came from the Curvy dies. Okay, then we're going to put this one on, and this one I'm also going to, because it's overlapping with the silver foil, I'm also going to use the Stampin' Seal Plus on this one. And this is where it's placed. It's kind of determined by where your embossing starts and ends, and so you just want it to catch that and overlap. And there's the second layer. And then the last layer, I'm just going to butt it up tight here. And I can just use regular. I'm going to put a piece on this right here. Right on here. And I realize, let me measure, because I'm thinking that I've gotten this just a little bit off. So let me see. This side is 1.5, and this side is 1 7/8. So this, I'm a little bit off center. So I'm going to make sure that I put this on here so it's straight. And to do that, I'm not going to have to trim it down or anything. I'm just going to match it with the bottom of the card and put it on there like that. Now I know that this piece is straight. Now on this sample, they had some beautiful gold thread of some kind. I don't have that, so I just left it off. But if you were going to do that, you'd want to build these edges and then put your string on before you mounted it on the card. So there's the basic front of the card. Then let's see what else. Oh, I added some, this closed up out of my way, some gold glitter enamel dots. These are really, really pretty. And I just put a few random ones around in various places on the card front. And there's 3 different sizes. I kind of stayed with the small and the medium sizes, but that would be up to you. That's totally a personal choice. but it just adds, that was kind of off. That was interesting. It came off of the sticky. We'll set that aside and try again. Well, I'm going to put one there because that stuck there. Let's see, some more small ones. Maybe another small one up here. And like I say, it's totally just a choice of where you might like them to be. So there is the card. Then, as you saw, I did the envelope, and the way I did that, pretty simple. I did my embossing buddy on the flap. I brought in this one, the same one I used on the front of the card that has the stars. And we're going to put that on there. Here comes the heat tool again. Like that. And then I took these two little stars and I put them both on the same block, and I added some more, and I just moved it around, you know, turned it so that they weren't all going the same direction, and just added a few stars. That looks good. Now we'll heat set that. Like they're all melted. And there's the envelope. So then you have this lovely card and an envelope to match. And again, that's the Quite Curvy Variety bundle, or you can do the individual pieces. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for stopping by.